Yes, so our next speaker is Dr. Joseph Lia, who's the head of the Creative Europe desk in Malta, representing funding opportunities for artists at European level this time. So yes, the floor goes to you, Dr. Lia.
Okay, welcome. Good morning. Thanks for accepting Creative Europe Desk to be presented during this Grants Week, because I think Creative Europe is the program for the culture and creative sector to be tapped in by Maltese organizations, especially in this sector. We want more awareness of this program because there is a lot of budget, there is a lot of money in this, and organizations mainly can benefit from these grants. What is exactly Creative Europe? Is it possible?
There might be people, yes, there are people who are English speaking, so
okay,
that's okay. I mean, you can just explain in English.
All right. So the objectives of Creative Europe are to cater for and to promote, develop the European culture and the diversity of the heritage and the linguistic diversity, and to increase the competitiveness in the culture and creative sector, especially in the audiovisual. There are three strands that funds are being designed in. These are the culture strand, the media, where we have the culture. Mostly I do myself. Media, we have Joyce, who is responsible, the media representative, Joyce Gregg, and there is the cross sector. The cross sector is something in between that involves culture and media. And this year is very, this program 21-27 is very special because, especially for the cross-sectorial, because they introduced a new fund, which is for media houses, the journalism partnerships. Today we're not going to go into each and every fund because it is impossible. So I urge the public to come, to write to us, to come and meet us. We can connect via internet, or you can come to our offices also to discuss these funds. And we regularly also organize information sessions. During last month, there was an avalanche of open calls. So we are still even like getting trained from the agency, AECA, which is responsible for the culture and creative sector, together with the education. But we can give guidance for these calls too. Our office, because last year we invested a lot in our office. We have a new office now in Valletta, and the services offered by this office, the Creative Europe desk in Malta, the aims of the desk are to inform and guide on the funds and initiatives of this program, this 2.4 billion program for these 7 years. Capacity building for the sector, targeted, of course, for the Creative Europe, and network and support for the opportunities and partner research, because many of the funds we have require a consortium of organizations. Our new office is in Valletta, 204B Vincenti Buildings. Come to visit us, write to us. We also, I don't know if this presentation is being presented to the public also, the online. Are they viewing the presentation? Yes. So come to our offices and we'll discuss even your project and we can guide you to which fund you can apply, or else we can explain the funds we have, and then you can be creative and think of a project that ticks, of course, the boxes of these funds. We have a new website. Please go on our website, europacreativa.mt or also .com, and there is news going on and information about our events, all our events, and all the funds and all the initiatives we the program caters for. Recently, this is our also, we communicate by our social media, mainly the Facebook page, which we update also with news. And you can also message us on the messenger. You can phone us, and you can also email us. So we are very accessible. So please contact us. The current open calls are from the previous program, 2014, 2020, where are the European cooperation projects, the most, I think, famous and the most accessible. And the new thing is that now it has three strands, this fund, not the small and large, but we introduced also the medium. So the small is for 200K funding, the medium is 1 million, and the large is 2 million. Of course, they vary in the co-funding also, because the small funds is 80-20, while the others are 60-40. The circulation of European literary works, which is the fund for publishers, where to make accessible Maltese literary works to foreign languages. I urge also publishers to come and talk to me here. We're going to organize also an information session, which we are collaborating with the Consiglio Nazionale tal-Ktieb, and we will publish the information session soon. The deadline for this fund is 7 September. This year, unfortunately, due to some problems, even about this deciding about approving the program, the funds came out lately. But this is a 7-year program, so if there is not this year, there are the other 7 years. As I was saying, the small scale cooperation projects needs to be a consortium of three countries, 3 organizations from at least from 3 different countries, offers 200K, 80% of the total budget. So you need to get a co-funding of 20% of your budget. The medium scale, which is new for this year, needs to have a minimum of five partners from 5 eligible countries, and grants are offered maximum of 1 million or 70% of the total budget. And the large scale now needs 10 partners from 10 eligible countries, and grants are offered up to 2 million or 60% of the total budget. So 60% from the program and 40% from your own funds, which can be also national funds, like those from Arts Council, for example. There's also a grant given by the voluntary section, although it's not, I don't think it's enough. It's 15K, but it builds up for for this co-funding, and then you need to make, for example, you make a project from tickets, etc., from other sponsors. As I said, the European Literary Works is for publishers. And then we have the European platforms, where this is a fund for aiming. This fund is to increase the visibility and circulation of European emerging artists and works outside their own borders in Europe and beyond, and also increasing culture access to and in participation in culture, as well as audience engagement and development. The funding is a maximum of 2.1 million in a total of 3 years. The grant is, the co-funding rate is 80/20, and the platforms can be composed of a coordinating organization who submits the application and at least 11 members. All the applications are done, this is across the board, from the funding and tenders portal. One cannot put an application by hand, handwritten, but it needs to be done electronically through the funding and tenders portal. There is the European networks of culture and creative organizations. Also, this action will support projects implemented by highly representative multi-country memberships based down. These were like IETM platforms, network, sorry, like this. The maximum grant available on this funding is 8 to 5K in a total of 3 years duration, and the co-funding rate is 80/20. The call for pan-European cultural entities, this is for orchestras, to create like an orchestra from different European countries, and the Muse Europe Talent Awards, which is part of the Muse Europe program. The closing dates for the European project is 7 September, circulation of European literary works is 30th September, 29 September for the European platforms, and the networks 26th August. I was also speaking about the journalism partnerships. This is for media houses especially, and the closing date is 26th August. I know it's a little bit of a short notice this year, but these are not only for this year, but we need to increase awareness about these funds now that we have the more of a general idea what is the program will be in this 7 years. So please come to us and ask us questions at our office. We have a very prominent office location. It's in Valletta. It's in Old Baker Street, number 204, Vincenti Buildings. As soon as you come out of St. Mark Street, you will find us there. We already talked about the cross-sector journalism partnerships and the media. There are more media funds that are open. The media sector is celebrating 30 years this year also about the Creative Europe media. And there are these markets and networking and fostering European media talents and skills, European slate and mini-slate development, European co-development, VOD networks, TV and online, Innov Tools and Innov Lab, festivals, for the film festivals, audience development and film education. We have a very good media representative who is really into the sector, Joyce Gregg, and she will be willing to help all those that require the information about these funds by writing an email or contacting us through all our contact platforms. Apart from funds, apart from money, of course, this program also has different initiatives. For example, this year Malta was involved in the EUPL, European Union Prize for Literature, where Lara Calleja won the prize for Malta, because this is a cycle, not each year. Each country is representative, but once in every 3 years. The book Kissirtu Kullimkien by Lara Calleja won the title of the European Union Prize for Literature for Malta. There was also the nominated book by Joe Borge, Papa Ahmed, who were the two shortlisted books. This year we organized also the Young Audience Award in collaboration with Spazio Creative. This is a very nice initiative for adolescents to be able to judge and films according to their likings, and this gives them the love for media and films, to be able to be like decision makers for this sector. These are some images from the kids viewing these films who they voted for. There are also the European Heritage Awards that they recognize like success in the cultural heritage, conservation, research, dedication of the service towards conservation, education, and I cannot translate the word tahrij in Maltese right now. Yeah, education mostly in this cultural heritage. And training, yes. Education and training in the cultural heritage. We offer also the service of finding partners, especially for the cooperation funds. There is a portal on the funding. There is a page dedicated on the funding and tenders portal, but you need to have a PIC number to be able to access this. Sorry? Yes. So it's very easy. Sometimes even we're trying to build discussion started to build a platform for the organizations, even for smaller organizations, because we understand that these are funds for big organizations to come and talk to us, speak about their project, and we upload on our website their particulars and send them and to be sent also to the Creative Europe desks. So when they have meetings with individuals, so not to be all electronically and on the funding and there's portal, but to have like more of a contact and then know, I know somebody who is wanting to do this project, so I will talk to the Greek desk or the Finnish desk or the German desk to be able to for matchmaking. So please, these are our email addresses. Mine, you can contact me directly on joseph.c.lia@europacreativa.mt, and for the media desk, you can also contact me, and I will forward your queries, but you can also contact directly on Joyce on info.mediadesk@europacreativa.mt. And please go to our website and Facebook page, because there are updates on our news and initiatives. And also sometimes we upload successful projects that were from the previous program, successful projects that maybe you can start thinking in that way to apply and be successful on Creative Europe funding. Thank you very much. And any questions, please?
So you mentioned the training that was supposed to be offered to your office, and I don't know if it is possible for us to collaborate and maybe extend or follow it up with like train the trainer activities, so we can.
We also offer capacity building. The program also offers us the possibility for the desk to offer capacity building sessions. So I think we can, yes, discuss this more like on a personal basis. I mean, we can discuss this via a one-to-one meeting about the possibility of collaborating even with your expertise on capacity building sessions. We already had actually the person who did the last capacity building session was more on the marketing aspects, how to brand yourself as an artist. He's a lecturer here at university, and but of course this was on a personal basis. But we are willing to get expertise from university, of course, to offer our sector through us these capacity building sessions. Yes, so we can discuss and move.
Thank you.
Okay, just checking if there are any questions from online. No?
Yeah. So what is the audience of the online right now? How many people are?
I can see 7 at night.
7 persons.
7.
Okay.
The session is recorded though,
okay,
so
great.
like for those who
I know.
are
I think
able to follow live, we'll make the recording.
Actually, one of my concerns is that right now the capacity building sessions we had were very successful because they had like 30 attendance. But right now I'm feeling that even it's summer is here, and people are more, even in cultural activities, people tend to shift their preference to more summer-like activities rather than cultural activities, I guess. So that is one of our even fears right now, that if we organize an information session, we will not reach the desired audience. So this is something also felt like by this grant week. Also, can you give us your views, because we also want to know from your experiences about how to address our own audience. I mean, of Creative Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's organize this session together. If you have an upcoming info session, we will gladly contribute to it. Maybe we can do it together with
the question was more like, what is the feeling about now, about audiences? Is there enough energy from audiences, or presenting this grants week? Because audiences are the same, and our audiences are your audiences, of course, in different sectors, but it was advertised there with Creative Europe, Arts Council. So for us, a big concern is organizing an event, and we will have a low attendance. What are your? Is this is this something experienced only from the culture sector or from across the board?
No, it's not just. The thing is, COVID has changed the way we do things. So
yes.
I remember that time. In fact, there was a very interesting presentation by the head of the doctoral school, and where he actually said that I come from a generation where people actually meet.
Yes, and well,
And yes,
I'm very eager to organize live information sessions. Even when you informed me, like, come, you can opt to come to go online. I said, I've had enough of this online thing.
Yes. And I follow sessions better when they are in person. Actually, it's hard.
And I want to communicate with people and not sit there in an office and speak to a screen. Like,
Yeah, the world has changed, because also a difference I've seen is that whereas before we did not have access to events taking place outside Malta, now we do.
yes.
So the result is we can see info sessions from anywhere across Europe, and there's a larger volume of info sessions available, and we have our daily work. So then you start to say, "But which event am I going to follow? Which
Yeah,
not?"
but don't you think that going in person has an added value, because then
Yes,
afterwards you can
yes.
talk about something.
This is why
and
we
you
are
can,
here,
yes.
In fact, afterwards, we want to invite you for lunch with us,
Oh,
so we
okay,
can
thanks.
continue to talk further. Yes, Glenn will
That
be
is
with
the
us.
that is the.
So yeah, who's
Nice
not
to
here
hear.
is going to miss a lunch. So
All right.
yes, and yes, we, for example, like yesterday, we had a live panel for
Mhm.
cost, and the members, they said how nice it is to start to meet face to face again.
Personally, my plan, I would like as head of desk to organize live sessions, because I want even the artists to talk to each other, and maybe something happens also, like an idea they don't have enough for co-funding, and then I want to do this, I want to do this, so what not get together and then partner with other organizations from Europe. It's, I think what I am envisaging is that we are getting lazy, I guess, to get our bums from our from home or for whatever we are, and go and interact with there with these people, with people.
And I wanted to follow up with you mentioning the cost actions. I don't know if you have ever collaborated with cost actions.
With whom?
Although COST is a European Cooperation in Science and Technology, so it's mostly for the science. I don't know if there is something similar under Europa Creativa. Yes. Yes, this cost actions, they have creative topics. They accept, they create these activities aimed at collaboration and building the consortium, and then consequently applying for the funding. So I think the next step is for us to discuss how we can establish collaboration between you, maybe the Arts Council as well, and the cost actions, because it's the oldest European funding mechanism, and it's survived for the past 50 years because of its efficiency. It's like a it's bottom up, and it's also a foundation for many projects.
I think that even the university has this, because I'm thinking of something else to now. What we were discussing when having our discussions with Brussels, is that, for example, in a university, it's better to have these foundations and organizations within, due to a bureaucratic process that funding and enters portal, as a university can have only one pick. And there are funds that, for example, the cooperation fund, you cannot be at least a leader in more than one project per call. So this can create bureaucratic problems. You can be partner with others, but you cannot get a grant for more than one project being as a leader. So I think these foundations within, or for example, the School of Performing Arts within the university needs to get of course the legal status and have a pick as an organization. So these are also things to address and even to start discussing. Well, I don't decide for Creative Europe. I'm just the messenger, promoting the program. But of course, we can put these kind of problems being faced by organizations when applying. Maybe you can tell us also what were the reasons for not applying, for example, during the previous program with Creative Europe, because you would like to know also why Malta had such a low participation, and we are discussing it with the ministry now. We are the Creative Europe desk is hosted by the Culture Directorate. It was first Culture Directorate, then it was shifted to Arts Council. Now it's again to the Culture Directorate. We want to understand the sector better, and we want to understand where to market, and we want to understand the reasons why people are reluctant to apply. Is it from our side because we are not promoting enough? Is it because big money is involved and the organizations in Malta are small and they cannot cope with such big funds? Is it because the funds devised by Brussels are not appealing to Maltese organizations? These are questions that we need to have an answer as a desk, and also to pass on to the cultural attaché, of course, for the discussions too, and to know how we as a desk can contribute better to the sector and be more successful in having a number of applications, and of course successful applications, because there's a big drive in from the ministry that Malta should get funds from this 2.4 billion program. Maybe for other funding programs, it's not a very big program when it's fisheries or in infrastructure, etc. But of course, we want to channel European funds to Malta.
Thank you very much for interesting presentation and discussion. We can wrap up the morning session, and we'll be back at 1:30 with more information. And this will be the closing last few presentations for the Grants Week of Malta.
Yeah, thanks very much for accepting us in this Grants Week, because I remember I received an email about the program and said, why Creative Europe Desk is not there, and thanks for putting us in the program, because I know you had to putting such a program is a big headache. It's a lot of work, and finding a slot for us was thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.